Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video series I will be creating a very basic but a pretty cool game in Python using Pygame. It will be Falling Skies, but we will be adding a bunch of things like power-ups and some really cool things to this game which I think you will really like. So yeah, this will be a really cool series. I don't think it will be that long also, and I don't think it will be very code heavy. So you basically just need to have like a basic Python knowledge to follow along with this series. Like you need to know Pygame, but if you don't know, it's still okay, but you might have a little bit of difficulty in understanding some areas of this program. So I would recommend you know Pygame. So I would recommend you check out my Flappy Bird tutorial or my Frogger tutorial before you follow along with this. So whatever. So we are basically going to be creating Falling Skies, and all of this code, assets, everything will be available on GitHub. What I will actually have is I will only upload the final code on GitHub and not all of my initial commits. That's because just so that people actually follow along with the tutorial and don't just copy paste all of the code. That being said, if you get stuck somewhere, you can leave a comment down below on the video, and I will help you out with the code. Because just so I want to make sure that people actually follow along. So yeah, that's why. But like if you can't kind of get stuck, you can still check my final GitHub repo, which will get uploaded in some while, like in some time, I don't know. You will be able to check that out. So first of all, you need to install a few modules to follow along. I know it's kind of bad, but you need to. So open up your terminal or command prompt based on your operating system and just go pip3 install pygame. If you already have it installed like me, then you don't need to do that. And also on Windows, you only need to type out pip. The reason why we type out pip3 on Mac is because if you do pip, it will take pip of Python 2. At least it's not the case in my laptop, but all of the older Macs like the 2017 and the 2016 versions, they usually default to Python 2. So that's why. Alright, so actually let's just get started and code out this entire game. Alright, so I'll just import pygame, the standard import, we all know that. So now let's just go pygame.init, and basically what this pygame.init does is it initializes pygame. So if you want to do like use fonts and stuff like that, which we will be using, you need to have pygame.init. You need to initialize pygame, it's kind of important. So let me just leave a comment. Initialize pygame. Then we can just create the screen. So create the screen. To do that, we just define a variable, in this case it's screen, and then we just have a pygame dot display dot set underscore mode, and then we just pass in a tuple of the dimensions of the screen, which is obviously the width and the height. So we just pass in width, height, which we will define over here as the game variables. So width, and now the width and the height, now in this case the width will actually be something that we will need to choose wisely, because like it shouldn't be too large also, because then it will just be like very simple. So I'm just gonna set it at actually not 1000, 900. I think 900 will look kind of good. Now this width and this height are something that you will need to change according to the display that you are using. In my case, my display has like a ton of pixels, so even if I have a large width and height, it will kind of like be mapped to a smaller region. Whereas if you are using like a 720p display or a 1080p display, it will be a bit different. So you want to take care of that and only then choose your width and height. 900 is usually okay as the width, like you probably won't face a problem over there. But if you want to set the height as something like 800 or 700, then you will need to take care of that, like what display you are using. Like I remember that my last like laptop had a 1080p display, and a width of 800 didn't fit, like it and occupied the entire screen. So you want to take care of that. So then we can just define the height over here. I'm just going to define it as 700. I think 700 works good, and also if you are using a 1080p display, 700 will fit. So next, let's just set the caption of the screen. So we can just say pygame.display dot set underscore caption. It's pretty standard, and the caption we can just give as falling skies, and set the screen icon. So I actually have this icon. This is actually not for the icon, this is the player, the old man. But we can also reuse the image as the icon, so not really a problem. So we can just say icon is equals to pygame dot image dot load old hyphen man dot png. Let me just check on my recording. All right, oldman.png, and then we can just say pygame.display.set icon as icon. Pretty simple, not that complicated in any way. Now currently, let me actually show you that, just in case you don't know. If I just run my game, however it is right now, only this much of code that we have written, if I just run it over here. Alright, what is happening? Alright, there we go. If I just run it right now, you will see a window pops up, but it immediately disappears. Now you might say, what is that, a bug? What is the reason? What happens is Python will execute this much of the code and it will simply break out. And we don't want the game to break out like this, because if it does, well, what is the use for the game, right? Like, you can't even see the screen for a second, so it's almost not useful. So what we do is we create a main game loop which will prevent the screen from shutting down unless and until you press the quit button, like the red color thing, this one, unless you press the red button, like on Windows the cross. And I think you get my point. So we'll set up the main game loop. To do that, we first define a variable called running, and we will just set that equal to true. So then we just say while the game is running, what I want to do is check for some events. So for event in pygame.event.get, we just say if the event.type equals to pygame.quit, we make running equals to false. And I'm just going to leave a line, and we will also update the display. So update the screen, we can just go pygame.display.update, and then what we also want to do is fill the screen. So to do that, what we do is we just define a color over here called black, and we use the RGB code of black, which is 0, 0, 0. This range is from 0 to 255. Just in case if you want to change the color, you will, you need to know that. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you would have learned it in, well, school. So we can just say fill the screen, and we can simply just say screen dot fill black. Oops, black. Alright, so now let's just run the program and you will see what happens. As you can see, we get the screen falling skies, and the screen is black in color, and it's kind of big, which is what we wanted. And there we go, we have a basic display in place. Well, obviously currently this display isn't that, well, good, because it's just a blank screen, but later on you will see how this blank screen takes the form of a lovely little game, which I'm pretty sure you will like to play. So yeah, so now let's actually go ahead and create the player. And I'm gonna get the player done in this video. We won't do the movements and stuff probably. I think you know what, I think we'll also get the movements done, since this is like a very short video at this point. I at least want this video to be a bit long. So let's actually get the player done. So what we can say is make a comment making the player, and also I won't be using object oriented programming for this tutorial. This code is not gonna be that complicated, so I won't need it. And the other thing is that I already have created an entire tutorial series where I've created a Frogger game with object oriented programming. So if you want to check out how to use object oriented programming, I think it's a really great place to understand it. And I also have a tutorial on dedicated to object oriented programming, just my last video. So what we do is just type out player img equal to pygame.image.load, and we will just load in the old -man.png, Now we will set the coordinates of the player. Now what should I do here? So I'll say player x is equals to, now what I will do is, the way I will adjust, I'm sorry, with the way I will actually set the position of my player is not going to be the standard way that I just hard code in a value like 400 or 800. Now that is good, but that's actually not very efficient. For example, I could hard code it, obviously it will work just fine, but there will be a slight problem. And the problem will be that even if I do that, for example, in the future, if I want to change the dimensions of my screen, I will have to change absolutely everything that kind of uh, is based on that. But if my position of the player is dynamic, if it changes with the size of the screen, then even if I change the width, the position, the player will be dynamically adjusted and it will all be very good. So the way we do it, we just say width minus, I'm sorry, width over 2. So in the center, we want the player x to be in the center. Alright, now since the player is of 64 pixels, we can add 64 to it. And then we can just say the player y can just be at height minus 100. That's just arbitrary, you can obviously pick whatever you want. Then we can just say player x underscore change equals 0. And now what we will do is we will define some of the functions that will actually display the player to the screen. So we can just say player xy, and the way we do it is screen.blit. We just say player img at the x and y coordinates. So then all we can do is take that entire function and we can just call it over here with the player x and the player y parameters. Awesome. So now if I just run this program, as you can see we have a player. Now as you can see it's kind of off the center, so we will actually subtract 64 from it instead of adding. I think that will fix the guy. I think then it will go a little bit to the left. Alright, there we go. As you can see it's in the center now. I by mistakenly added 64. Alright, so next what we want to do is actually move the player. So moving the player is super simple. What we will do is we will make use of this player exchange and the player x and move it. So let me show you. So if I just say player x plus equals player x underscore change, and if I simply go over here and just say 2, see what happens. As you can see the player is moving. So the way that the player moves is that the screen will kind of like destroy the player, make it again, but it will happen so fast that you will think that it's moving. I think that's like basic, that's just basic knowledge. So yeah, just in case if you didn't know. So now what we do is we say if event dot type equals to pygame dot key down, key down, if event dot key equals pygame dot k right. So if I'm clicking the right arrow key, I want to set my player x underscore change to, let's just go 2.3, and if event dot key equals to pygame dot k underscore left, then you can just set the player x underscore change to negative 2.3. And I think that's exactly all we need to do. Now, like we need to write a little bit more code, but you will see. Actually, let's just write it right now and then test it. So then if we say that if the event dot type equals to pygame dot k key up, so if we release a key, we just say player x underscore change equals 0. Pretty basic code. As you can see, I run the program, and as you can see we get a guy, and as you can see if I click on the left arrow key, he is moving left, I'm clicking on the right arrow key, he is moving right. And that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted him to move with the arrow keys, and that's pretty much it. now we will do all of the other boundary stuff and all of that in the next video. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hadn't uploaded for a while now, about 3 weeks. I'm sorry for that. I actually wanted to upload, but I had a lot of my examinations around the corner. They're still like around the corner, but I finally got around to create a video today. So yeah, so don't really expect a video every day, I would say, but yeah. So yeah, I'm also not gone on like some huge break. So yeah, you should be expecting a video quite soon again. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I'm starting like after this like 3 week break, I'm again starting with a little game, because I know like games are pretty fun to create also. I really love them. So I'm just gonna add a last comment over here. uh, Imports, and as you can see, we also have made quite a few comments, as you can see over here. So if you are a beginner, you will kind of understand what is going on. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed the video. That's it for today, guys, and if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another YouTube video.